Hello and welcome to lesson 7 of JavaScript. In this lesson, we are going to look at the methods that we use to search strings. My name is Mildred. In the last lesson, we looked at a lot of string methods, and we're going to continue looking at more methods, but these methods are concerned with searching for the occurrence of strings in a given string or in a text. First of all, when we have strings in JavaScript, the strings are between single or double quotes. Now, sometimes we run into problem like writing things like Mildred class in Mildred school. Because the surrounding quote is a single quote, using an apostrophe here confuses this string and thinks that this is the end of this. And so this is going to result in errors. And so when I try to print this out on the page, nothing will be printed because we have an error here. To do this, you either use double quotes in the surrounding and make sure that the matching quote is at the end and there is no quotation in between. This works. But what if you want to put a quotation mark like this in between? Then this becomes another problem. In JavaScript, we have escape characters. Like if I have a surrounding single quote and I have a single quote within the text, I will use the backslash before the problematic character to tell the system to print this as part of the string and not the close of the start quotation mark like this. And when we escape, we will solve that problem. We can even make it easier for ourselves. Instead of using the quotes, we can use the backstroke like this to actually define strings in JavaScript. Now take note that most of these things are actually new, and so you have support issues with Internet Explorer when you use a lot of these methods in JavaScript, because I think as of 2022 there is no good support with Internet Explorer yet. So you can use the backstroke like this and it's going to create the string the same way. And the backstroke even make it easier for you to do things like, let's say for instance, let first name be equal to Mildred. So you can write multi-line text actually, and you have no problem because once the strings are in backquotes, it makes it easier. So let's say let's last name equal to, and now I want to do something like let full name, and my full name is going to be, so instead of writing first name then concatenate with last name, I can do something like, name. I can do something like full name is, will print, or let's say let's not full name, let's say let message be equal to, we want to print a text out, so we'll say hello, and I want to print out first name and last name. I'll use a $ and a curly brace and put first name, right, and then I'll put a comma, use a $, curly brace, and use the last name. And this time when I print out message, I should have hello Mildred Ojama on the page like this. So this did not print that out, and I'll tell you why it didn't print that out. I was using the quotes instead of the backstroke like this. Save, refresh, and I have it printed to the page. So these are some of the new modern methods of writing JavaScript. You can use the backstroke. It makes it easier. So when you are doing heavy programming, you can actually write it this way. There are several applications of this. When we want to write HTML tags within JavaScript, this makes it more convenient. We want to write lists, we want to loop through it. We're going to look at how to use this as we apply what we've learned to software development later on. So let's get back to methods for searching strings. So let's say I have a text, and my text is Mildred class in Mildred. If I want to get or search for the first occurrence of Mildred in this text, I'll say let x be equal to text dot index of, and I'm looking for index of Mildred. Now because JavaScript starts counting from 0, it's going to return the first index, which is 0. It's not going to return the other occurrence, just the first occurrence of this. And if I save and I refresh, I should have 0 printed to the screen because my first occurrence is at 0. And this did not print out to the screen because I'm not printing out x. So I'll print x, save, refresh, and it prints 0 to the screen. If I want to get the last occurrence, I use last index of like this, and it gives me the index of this. If I want to return the first index also, we can use search like this. So search and index of are similar, but they are not exactly the same. We can also use match. And when we use match, it returns an array containing the result of the matching string. So when I put match, save, refresh, it returns the array containing that and just print out what is in the array. So just the first occurrence. So if you want to match all the occurrence of this, you use match all like this. So we have includes method like this, and what the includes does is it's a boolean and it returns true or false if a particular or specified string occurs in the string. So does it include Mildred? We want to find out if Mildred exists here, it will be true. If not, it's going to be false. So we have true because Mildred is there. But do we have anything like Jacob here? It's going to be false because we have nothing like Jacob here. So this is a boolean that returns just true or false. We also have starts with and the ends with method. Does it start with Jacob? So you use starts with. It's going to return true or false, and which is false. And does it start with Mildred? We're going to have true because that is true. And does it end with Mildred? So put ends with. So these are the methods that we use to search strings, search for an occurrence of a string or a particular substring in a text in JavaScript. So you can practice doing this with these methods. These methods go a long way in a lot of things you will need to do in software development. So this is where we end this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to look at number and number method.